What's up, guys? It's John with National Sports Entertainment, and I wanted to go into, there's a couple games today, technically, Thursday games, that I like for college. Most of these games, these are teams, St. Francis, UCF, Kent State, Nebraska, Minnesota, Tulsa, all these different schools, UAB. Down the stretch, they're actually going to be some of the more profitable teams. In the beginning of the year, I don't use them that much just because there's no narratives really, and there's probably not a lot of public money on these games. So I think in a lot of cases it does come down to coin flips. But what's going to happen is about week 3, week 4, we're going to see, and I'm going to go into this obviously as we go on, as the season goes on, there's going to be teams that are 4-0, 0-4 against the spread, things of that nature. And if you look back in the history of college football, like every year, you'll see that the teams always finish in the high 30s. The worst teams against the spread, high 30s, and the best teams will finish in like the low 60s. So that's why down the stretch we're going to have a lot more plays. But at the beginning of the season, I'm just looking for games that I think are good value games and that I think the lines are suspicious. We opened up last Saturday. We got the over on USC, and we got the Notre Dame cover. So a nice 2-0 start to the season. And for this video, as the title alludes to, I have had my eye on this game. And while without Cam Rising, I could see people maybe not being so hot on Utah. It's not like Florida's a great team. So this line started at 7. The Utes were 7-point favorites. And I remember looking at that saying, that's about as far as I would go with it. Like, I thought the Utes would be closer to 10-point favorites, and I thought 7 was a little thin. It's since moved to 4.5. Now, a lot of people will take this and say, oh, that means people are slamming Florida. So they want people to take Utah, so the money must be on Florida. I don't think that's always the case. I have a theory that they set a line, they let certain people maybe in the know get in, and then they move the spread to change the value. So in this game, I like Florida for the win. Obviously, if you watched my videos from last year, I almost always exclusively go with the cover. It's just a safer play, and since we're playing to win one unit, I don't need to get greedy. But in this case, I do like Florida for the win, so it's going to play nice plus odds, something like, I'm guessing, plus 160, 180, depending on your book, and depending on if it moves to 4 or back. It probably won't move much further. It probably might move back to 5 or something of that nature. But yeah, I like Florida to win just because I think the line is suspicious. The Pac-12, as I said, is dissolving, so I don't think they're going to have quite the year that they had. Again, you have Utah moving to the Big Ten. You have USC moving to the Big Ten. Utah just won the Pac-12. And yes, mostly because of Cam Rising, but they won the Pac-12. They're ranked 14th. They're at home, only getting 4.5, giving 4.5. I find that to be very light. So we could have a win no cover situation, but I like Florida with the plus odds, like I said, plus 160 or whatever it winds up being. And as far as the college games, I'll be covering more on Saturday. I am going to look into Colorado because I've found them very interesting from the beginning. And now you introduce Coach Prime. So it's going to be really interesting what happens with Colorado. So we'll be going into that. As you can see, I think they play Saturday. Yep, they play TCU. Giant underdogs. A lot of public money on Colorado. So I could see them doing I think they're going to improve this year, but I don't think they're going to pay the public too much. But yeah, of the Thursday games, just being honest, I'll probably have, I've been looking into them with the football season just starting. I just did tennis, just trying to make sure I have the best metrics I can for college. And the only game that I really think, again, has a suspicious line is I like Florida to beat Utah. So that's my official play. So anybody that's not familiar, this is all I did last year. I literally just typed this in. This is a guesstimate. It's going to be right around 160. But what we do is it's going to be a leg 1. So it's for 1 unit because that's how I do my system. If Florida is to lose this game, then I would follow up with a leg 2 to win 2 units. So we're netting 1 unit. And we started pretty good so far. We got the Hall of Fame game. We got the 2 games on Saturday. And I like Florida to beat Utah here, which would be nice. It'd be about 1.5 unit profited. And again, as the season goes on, you'll see how the system works. So as far as now, that's the only game that I really like coming up Thursday. I'll have quite a few picks for Saturday. Friday, there's a couple that we might be able to play Kansas. Miami will be an interesting one. We got the battle of the Miamis. I remember Miami, Florida last year was just hilariously abysmal on offense, but they had a good defense. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But yeah, I don't want to play games just to play them. I think, especially beginning of the year, it's good to feel things out. So a lot of these would be coin flips. But like I said, for now, I really like Florida for the upset over the Utes. I think Florida gets back to having a pretty good season. And I don't think Utah needs to have a great season after winning the Pac-12 and the Pac-12 dissolving. So, as always, take care and happy earning.